Hello everyone, it's Kari from sunshineinmypocket.com and I'm here crafting away my feelings today. It looks like a tornado has hit my craft room, and so I have the perfect stamp sets to create a card. This is the Twister stamp set from Missing Stamps, and then I've got Magical Graduation, which I'm going to use the hat and the broom from. Then the letter stamp set, this one right here that I showed you first, has a whole bunch of letters, and I thought that if a tornado really did hit my craft room, there would be a lot of letters and cards going everywhere. So I'm going to combine a bunch of these sets here to create Kari's Crafty Tornado. And I'm not sure what would be in your tornado, but for sure mine would definitely have a cow spinning around for cinematic effect. That's one of the sentiments in this stamp set, by the way. And then it would have a bunch of letters. So I'm pulling out these from the letters stamp set. I'm going to add them around, just a few here and there, and we're going to stamp those all down. And I'm using a Copic friendly ink, one that I like to use most often. It's Memento Tuxedo Black. I recently just purchased a new one and it is lovely. So I use this anytime I want to color with Copic markers or ink blend a little bit. Next, I'm going to add that broom and leave a little room for that sentiment. I'll ink up the broom first, and I'm also playing around with where I want this hat to go. So as I consider that, I think I'm going to stamp that separate and pop it up to be a little 3D effect on top. So I'll just place the broom and ink that up, and then I'll ink up the sentiment next and remove the broom. And the sentiment that I chose to use today was, it's fine, I'm fine, everything is fine. Which is completely and totally something I would say. So now that we've got that down, I'm going to do a little bit of coloring, and then we'll add some extra things to the top for dimension and more interest. This is an easy image to color, lots of things going on, but just really simple and small. So I'm just really quickly going through and showing you some of the coloring. The broom, I really love the look of it just being a regular normal broom. It may also be a nod to something else I'm really excited about that's coming out soon to the cinemas, theaters, but of course bringing in some other fandom things, and you'll see that in a minute. I'm coloring up the cow first with some neutral grays. He's got some stripes or some spots on him, which is really, really cute. And then I'll take some light pink and color up his little nose and udder and ears. And then I'm just going around with some grays just to make him stand out a little from that background tornado. Look how cute he is. So finish that up. That's a very quick, easy coloring, but I am darkening up some spots a little bit more. Then I'll add some touches of red to the letters, to the mailbox that's in the tornado, some of the papers that are flying around and such. I added a little green to the tree and to the leaves. It's a very light green, so it's hard to see in the video. And then I'll go ahead and color up the tornado. Now I'm using shades of blue to do this, some darker blues and then some lighter blues to just give it that look of twirling, swirling. And the reason I color it up a little darker on the edges is it does make it look more of a spherical shape. So I'm leaving it lighter in the center and coloring it up darker with blues around the edges. So you can see that here. And this is really, really fun. I like this tornado. And it's a very unique stamp set as well. You don't see this a lot. So I love that about Missing Stamps. There's a lot of different and unique stamp sets and great ideas. Love it. As I finish up coloring this, I'm thinking about the frame that I want to cut this out with. And the Oh Happy Day frame die has a larger rectangle frame that has stitching around it, and it's a really great stitch. So I'm going to use that for this panel now. And I did try to center the tornado a little bit in that stitching. And now I'm going to take some of smaller dies that I have from Missing Stamps. So we've got some little lightning bolts here, some rounded glasses, and you might kind of get an idea of what I'm going for now. So I also cut out some letters from the Eieio frame die, the letters to spell out the word UGG. And I'm going to color them up with grays, but in kind of an ombre effect, like dark gray on the bottom, then medium gray, and then going up to the lightest gray. And this sentiment is going to go right above the sentiment that was stamped there, the I'm fine, it's fine, everything is fine. And it's going to fit perfectly right in that spot. So this is going to be great. Let me just place those here temporarily so we can see how that looks. And then for the hat, I colored that off screen, and we're going to pop the hat up with some foam tape. I think I'm going to place it a little bit crooked on the top of the tornado there, and this is coming together. Now I cut a piece of blue cardstock. It's kind of a denim color blue, a little bit of a grayish blue, and that's what we're going to use for the mat around this. But before we do, I thought a little bit more color around the edges would do the trick to help it stand out just a little bit more and jump off the paper. So I'm using my blue ink blending tool here. I added a little extra blue to that. And then I'm going to ink around all of the edges, just like this. Now we can start putting this card together, but there are a few things that are still missing. So let's glue this to the blue panel, just like that. And then we're going to start adding those details. The lightning bolts, I thought, were just a little too bright yellow, and I wanted to dull that down. So I'm going to bring in some gray ink and add to those lightning bolts. Right now they're kind of a neon yellow. I'm adding the UGG right there, just gluing that on. Now usually I'll pick up a sentiment with a piece of low-tack tape and then glue it all at the same time, but there were only 3 letters, so I just glued them one at a time. Now here's where I'm adding that gray ink to the lightning bolts just to dull that down a little. They were really screaming off this card. And so a little oxide ink goes a long way. So I'll clean that up and then we can finish adding those things. I thought a little bit of a tweezer would probably help put those on, so I'm picking those up with a tweezer, adding a little bit of glue, and then gluing them down. There we go. So adding a couple of those lightning bolts. I'll add those glasses with the tweezers as well. And I'm just going to make them a little more crooked there. There we go. I think that looks cute. Oops, there we go. And now the final thing in my tornado would be glitter or gems, something sparkly, of course. So I'm bringing in these gems. They're kind of a smoky topaz gem. They look a little stormy, but they definitely have some shine to them. So I'll use my gem picker, pick those up, and add some glue very quickly, just like that. And now we can add this to our card base, and we're just about finished with the craft room tornado. I don't know, did your mom ever come into your room and say, "This looks like a tornado has hit"? My mom did all the time. So here you go, Mom, dedicated to you, my craft room tornado with all the things, cards, letters, gems, glasses, my broom and my hat. I'm fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. I hope you enjoyed this video today. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and come back again and again. I really appreciate it. I'll be back real soon with more cards to share. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.